Channel 6 News is everywhere. Live, the most watched news station in the capital region. This is Channel 6 First News Saturday.
Good morning. It's Saturday, the 4th of March. I'm Doug Lisette. Ahead on First News Saturday, the rush to find a suspect after the shooting of 2 Albany policemen has led to a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. The Albany Diocese decides to close a Catholic school. And if you've had your fill of winter, join us for a search for some local R&R. Now with our first look at the forecast, here's Mike Augustyniak.
Well, thanks, Doug. Good morning, everybody. Not too bad of a day to start today. Take a look at the satellite picture here, and you can see some clouds moving into the area from the west, but they're mainly few and far between. Not too bad of a morning, as I said, to start. A little chilly this morning, but mostly sunny. High temperatures, I should say, in the 20s. By noontime, up around 40 with a sun and clouds mix, and then some increasing clouds for tonight with a chance of a flurry to the north. Low temperatures right around 40 for dinner time. Doug?
All right, thank you, Mike. The city of Albany and 9 of its police officers are facing a federal civil rights lawsuit. It stems from last November's search for accused cop shooter Tracy Grady. Now, 4 men claim they were unjustly roughed up by officers outside of Fat D's Market in Albany the day after the shooting in the city's Arbor Hill section. The men claim the incident was caught on surveillance tape and happened at a time when tensions around the neighborhood were high.
And those police, what they did that day, they weren't acting as cops. They were just angry men coming at us with guns and, I don't know, just taking advantage of their badges or whatever, their authority.
The lawyer for the 4 men tells us they filed the lawsuit in federal court because there's a much larger jury pool if the case goes to trial there. Albany police have no comment. They say they are still reviewing the details of the lawsuit. Meanwhile, Colony police have arrested 3 New York City men for passing around counterfeit bills. They say the fake $100 bills were used at 3 different businesses in Latham Farms Thursday night. Police say an employee of one of the businesses became suspicious when a man bought an item costing less than $10 but paid for it with a $100 bill. Officers also found 9 fake hundreds and 4,000 real dollars in the men's cars. The Secret Service is now investigating. In Berkshire County, police have arrested a man accused of shooting 3 people in Tennessee. 21-year-old Michael Harper was picked up at an apartment house on Linden Street in Pittsfield yesterday after a brief stakeout. Police in Johnson City, Tennessee say that Harper, when he was there, shot 2 people at a nightclub and 1 at a school dance. Harper's being held on $1 million bail and could be facing attempted murder charges in Tennessee. Albany's Catholic Diocese is planning to merge 2 of Schenectady's Catholic schools. They say the decision took 18 months to make and that changing demographics and shrinking enrollment are to blame. John Russell has more.
Officials say it was simply numbers, that there just weren't enough students to go around for both schools. So the diocese announced today their plans to consolidate Our Lady of Mount Carmel and Immaculate Conception.
I think it was really a group decision, and people put their heads together and said, what's best for this whole area in terms of Catholic education, and this was what they came up with.
The decision is a result of 18 months of planning, one the diocese says wasn't easy, but one that had to be made. They blame changing demographics and shrinking enrollment for the need to consolidate. Under the plan, Mount Carmel will be closed, with the students there attending Immaculate Conception School beginning next September. So what do you think of it closing?
It's a shame that it's closing. I mean, it's nice to have it in the area for the kids to go to a nice, clean school to go to.
I don't think it's very good, and I think it's awful late that they came and told us about this, because our kids could have picked another school. Meantime, registration's late, so we're very heartbroken over it.
And while there are still 7 other Catholic schools in Schenectady, those who've had children attend Mount Carmel say the news of the closing is sad.
We're sorry to see it closed, though, because it was pretty good school for kids. And a lot of kids, I don't know what they're going to do now, go to some school that they probably don't like.
John Russell, Channel 6 News.
The candidate couldn't make it, but his wife could. With Super Tuesday just days away, Ernestine Bradley came to the Capital Region to seek votes for her husband. She is the wife of Democratic presidential candidate Bill Bradley and dropped by Albany International Airport last evening. She said she knows her husband trails Al Gore in the polls, but she says he's in the race right to the end.
Bill is a great competitor, has always been a great competitor, so there is no question of dropping out. We will have to see, you know, what Super Tuesday brings, but right now we are so focused on getting there that we are definitely not looking, you know, beyond whatever the results may be. This is what we are doing now, and we are doing it wholeheartedly, and it's fun and it's energizing, but it's also a lot of work.
Ernestine Bradley is making an upstate swing with Liz Moynihan, the wife of Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan, and June Jackson, wife of L.A. Lakers coach Phil Jackson. On the Republican side, George W. Bush and John McCain are slugging it out in the Empire State. Most polls show the two locked in a statistical dead heat still. Bush stopped in Buffalo yesterday while McCain was in New York City. The hot topic now, McCain's position on funding for breast cancer research. A Bush supporter released ads that claim that McCain thinks the money for breast cancer research is wasteful. McCain insists, though, that he is in favor of that research. 7:06 now. We want to welcome aboard Mike Augustyniak, who'll be handling weather duties for us on Saturday morning.
That's right.
Even before I had ever met Mike, I knew the name. He works at WGY, on the air sometimes, behind the scenes, and I kind of envy you because you're going to be doing both here still for a while.
It's going to be a lot of fun, I can guarantee that, and I appreciate the nice welcome.
Yeah, we're glad to have you.
Nice weather, too, actually, for the next few days.
I noticed the sunshine as I walk down here. I guess the sunrise is moving back a little every day. And,
it is. We're getting
nice
a little more sunlight, yes, and a lot of sun today. We'll take a look at Skycam actually right now. It shows mostly sunny skies out there with just a few clouds here and there. Not too bad to start the day. Temperature's kind of chilly, though, with temps right in the 20s right now. As a matter of fact, take a look at the forecast for today. You'll see at noontime we'll see those mostly sunny skies, temps right around 40, and by evening we'll see some increase in cloudiness, but temperatures again for dinner time falling from the mid-40s right down to around 40 degrees. Right now out there it is 27, dew point at 14, which puts the humidity at 51%. Winds out of the west-northwest at 6 miles an hour. Not too bad there, I should say, because we have seen those gusty winds over the past few days. Those have calmed down, thankfully, and that's making temperatures even in the 20s not feel too bad this morning. 27, as I mentioned, here in Albany, 26 off to the north in Glens Falls, and for the most part off to the west, temperatures right around 25 degrees. Take a look at the satellite picture here in the northeast, and there's some of those clouds that are moving in from the west. Those are associated with an upper level disturbance, and as those clouds move through, we are going to see a shot at some flurries off to our north, but right here in the capital region shouldn't amount to much if we see anything at all for the most part. Temperatures in the northeast right now for the most part in the 20s here in New York. And off to our south, we see temperatures in the 30s and 40 degrees as well. We will see an increase in temperatures here, as I mentioned, over the next few days for highs. Take a look at much of the country, and you can see even for this time of the morning, it is pretty warm in the southeast, and we're going to get some south to southwesterly flow come the first part of next week, which is going to help warm temperatures up. And we could see 50 here by Monday. For this morning, 20s to start, mostly sunny and chilly with northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. By this afternoon, we'll see 44 degrees for a high with a mixture of clouds and sun with more clouds off to the north, and again a shot at some flurries for those folks as well. Increasing clouds tonight for everyone. Flurries off to the north, 24 to 29, a little warmer where you see more clouds. Here's your 6-day forecast. Take a look at this. Warming up rather nicely by Monday. Tuesday, 53 degrees and 56. There's a shot at 60, Doug, come Wednesday, but we are going to have to pay for it with some rain around Thursday.
Well, the 60s coming, when was the last one? I don't know if it was in March or the end of February, the last time we had our shot of 60. I think that was about last weekend.
Yep, that's right.
That would have been in February, and now so far, March, looking good.
Not too bad for March.
Maybe we'll see that again.
We hope.
All right. Thanks a lot, Mike.
Sure.
Channel 6 News is everywhere. Coming up next.
When Channel 6 First News Saturday continues, there's more violence in the Bronx. This time, 5 people are dead, and police are still searching for their killer. And in sports, the Siena women's team tries to keep its season alive in the MAC tournament, and the men's team gets ready for action today. Doug Sherman's ahead with highlights.
John McCain, the character to do what's right.
I'm going to give the government back to you, and I promise you that.
The courage to fight for it. A Republican like Ronald Reagan who can win.
I'm going to beat Al Gore like a drum. You will always hear the truth from me, no matter what.
New York, on Tuesday, vote for the one Republican who can beat Al Gore. John McCain.
For comfort, for quality, for timeless style. Adirondack Woodshed. Long-lasting, solid wood furniture. Priced right. Adirondack chairs, rockers, benches, dining sets, cupboards, desks, student desks, bookshelves, computer desks, traditional desks, entertainment armoires, available in a variety of woods and styles, unfinished and custom finished stains and colors. Adirondack Woodshed, 4020 State Street, Schenectady.
Out here, it seems the wind never stops blowing. They call it the velocity zone. Build and remodel homes here, and you soon learn what you can and can't trust. Contractor John Miranda trusts only one window, Andersen. That's why if you ask him to use anything other than Andersen, he'll ask you to sign a release. So his reputation remains solid. Worry-proof, time-proof. Andersen Windows.
Are you ready for Tom Jones Live? And hotter than ever. Now, March 20th, live at Proctor's Theater. An evening with Tom Jones. Hit after hit. Tickets at Proctor's box office and all Ticketmaster outlets. Underwritten by Terry Morris Auto Group and the First National Bank of Scotia. Tom Jones.
Schuco manufactured windows have earned the Good Housekeeping seal, and it's no wonder. Schuco windows are the result of German engineering and craftsmanship made in America. Exclusive features like our TPS system and unique inline slider are all part of the finest line of vinyl replacement windows available. Call now and you can purchase Schuco manufactured windows at factory direct prices. Save up to 25% and you'll make no payment until summer. Remember, Schuco windows with the Good Housekeeping seal. Call now.
Both the Dow and NASDAQ were up big on Friday, and next week, internet companies could make big gains. Here's Stacy Tisdale with this morning's Market Watch.
Can Friday's winning streak in stocks continue? Many analysts say yes. They say a weaker than expected employment report has alleviated fears that the economy is overheating and that the Federal Reserve would have to respond with big interest rate hikes. But when it comes to specific stock groups, internet companies could get some more attention this week. Brokerage giant Payne Weber hosts an internet conference Monday and Tuesday. It's going to highlight companies like America Online and Excite at Home. Then on Thursday, it's Yahoo's turn. The company hosts a meeting for analysts that could give investors insight on the firm's new products and alliances. Semiconductor stocks have been red hot lately, and they could get even more attention in the coming days. Morgan Stanley Dean Witter hosts a semiconductor conference Monday through Wednesday. An industry giant National Semiconductor releases quarterly results after the market closes on Tuesday. Wireless giant Qualcomm has a shareholder meeting on Tuesday. This company always gets a great deal of attention because it was the best performing stock of 1999. For more on the week on Wall Street, click on cbs.marketwatch.com. I'm Stacy Tisdale in New York.
Police in New York City are still looking for whomever went on a killing spree in the Bronx yesterday. 5 people were killed at 3 locations. First, a woman was shot and stabbed in an apartment building elevator. Then a second woman was found slashed to death a few blocks away. A bit later, 2 men were found shot to death, and a teenage boy was stabbed to death in an apartment. All the murders happened early yesterday morning, and police say they appear to be related. A television news crew became part of the news yesterday. It happened in Miami when their news copter crashed in a residential neighborhood. The pilot and cameraman for Miami's Channel 6 both died. They were covering a bus accident when the chopper plunged to the ground and burst into flames. One witness says the helicopter was about 50 feet from another chopper when it tried to turn and the craft's tail just snapped off. No one on the ground was hurt. A man is buried alive waist deep in bricks and rubble after a building collapses in Houston. Firefighters rescued the worker, and luckily no one else was hurt. The man was part of a salvage crew working on an abandoned building when it fell in on him. It's one of many buildings being torn down to make way for the Houston Astros' new baseball stadium. Bob Jones University is fighting back. The South Carolina College is using full-page newspaper ads in USA Today to answer national criticism of its interracial dating ban and other issues at the college. The move comes after Republican presidential candidate George W. Bush was criticized for making a stop at the fundamentalist Christian school last month. University President Bob Jones III says the school has been wrongly painted as racist and anti-Catholic. It's time now to take a look at sports. Big weekend around here. Plenty of boys and girls high school action, plus the MAC. Here's Doug Sherman with the highlights.
Good morning, everybody. The Siena men's basketball team gets its MAC tournament underway this afternoon. 2 o'clock in the quarterfinals at the Pepsi Arena against Canisius. Meanwhile, they'll be followed by the Siena women, who got by their quarterfinal game last night by beating Ryder down at the Pepsi final of 86-79. Saints at 5 o'clock following the men at 2 o'clock at the Pepsi. High school basketball action last night up at the Glens Falls Civic Center. Colony against Amsterdam in the Class A boys semifinals. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, Lucius Jordan slamming 2 of his 22 points. And J.J. Harvey on his way to Siena had 25. The Garnet Raiders of Colony, the defending champs, heading back to the Section 2 finals. They beat Amsterdam 60-47. So the Garnet Raiders, seeing who they would play, well, it turns out Bishop McGinn beat Shenandoah in the other semi last night. Devron Fallon, 2 of his 19 points. Jason Coleman had 21, McGinn 65, Shen 54. McGinn versus Colony for all the marbles Monday night at Hudson Valley. Girls last night, we had some championship action in Section 2. We start in Class Double C, Voorheesville and Spa Catholic. Junior guard Brittany Burnham scored 10. Michelle De La Cruz with 2 of her points. Caitlin Berger, the MVP. Voorheesville takes it all, 44-39. In Class C, the finals against Hoosick Valley and Greenwich, also at Hudson Valley. 9th grader Jocelyn Moy, 15 points. What do you know? The Witches of Greenwich win it 52-44, the Section 2 champs. NBA last night, the Knicks in Atlanta against the lowly Hawks, and when Latrell Sprewell put the Knicks on top 17-8 early, it looked pretty good, but then the Knicks just fell apart, particularly inside against Dikembe Mutombo. He had 12 points, 20 rebounds. Knicks lose 83-70. College hockey last night, Joel Lang for the RPI Engineers was phenomenal once again. He had another shutout, his 12th in his career against Brown. Brad Tapper scored a couple of goals. He leads the country with 29. RPI snaps its 5-game losing streak with a 3-0 win over Brown. That's it in sports. We'll see you again tonight at 6 o'clock.
At 7:17, let's take a look now. Last night's winning lottery numbers. First, the numbers from New York, starting with our state's daily. 155 and the win 4 number, 3338. The take 5 number, 2, 5, 8, 13, and 33. In Massachusetts, the daily, 9392, and the mass cash number, 7, 18, 30, 34, 35. In Northern New England game, the pick 3 number, 405, and the pick 4 number, 4958. Coming up on Channel 6 First News Saturday, how do they always get box office movies to end on time when they're shown on television? Ed O'Brien explains in another What's With That?
And it's cold out here, but the wind has quit, so that's good news. And there is a warm-up in store for the week ahead. Got details coming up next.
I'm Mary Beth Wenger, Channel 6 News. I'm proud to bring you my Capital Kids report celebrating the accomplishments of local kids. Here's a great event that all Capital Region kids can enjoy.
It's all about fun. It's all about learning. It's the Times Union All About Kids show coming to the Empire State Plaza Convention Center on March 11th and 12th. Channel 6 is offering free kids admission to the show. Just stop by WRGB Studios or Bob's stores and pick up your free tickets.
There's fun for everyone at the Times Union All About Kids show.
Yes?
Search warrant, ma'am.
What's this all about?
Please move away. Take it easy, Bob. We just want a little look around.
I'm sorry, officer.
This one's going downtown. Look up, kid. Come on.
How do you sleep at night? Don't get busted. Save up to 60% on all Sealy, Sealy Posturepedics, Simmons, and Simmons Beauty Rest model year-end closeouts at Taft.
Where's she going?
You can win tickets to the Big East Championship. Register to win at Capital Land Motors GMC Subaru for 4 seats at the Garden on March 11th. It's the biggest party in the East. Be there.
What's your position on healthcare? I have season tickets. I think everybody in America ought to have access to quality health care. That's the basic thing we can do at this time. We got enough money to do it. We ought to do it now.
Good luck, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Bring it home.
My attitude toward this issue of gun control is if anybody's going to be gun shy, it's going to be NRA, not me, because I'm going after this issue, and we're going to get registration and licensing of all handguns. It's a big issue.
Substandard parts and unsafe repair practices compromise your safety and diminish the value of your vehicle. Repair your vehicle right the first time. Choose H&V Auto Care and Collision Center.
HNV. HNV.
A chunky Super Bowl moment. Terrell Davis's mom served him new chunky beef with white and wild rice, a hearty soup with chunks of lean beef and vegetables. Filled up right by this new Campbell's chunky beef soup. Terrell made mincemeat of linesmen.
And now, your Storm Team 6 forecast with Mike Augustyniak.
Good morning, everybody. Not too bad of a morning, I should say. A lot of sun out there to start the day. By noontime, we should be up around 40 degrees, and by tonight, although some increasing clouds will be coming in for dinner time if you're headed out of the MAC games later on tonight, right around 40 degrees. Temperature right now, 27 with a dew point of 14. Winds have slackened off a bit from yesterday, about 6 miles an hour from the west-northwest right now, and the barometer is 29.82 and rising. Here's your temperatures across New York today. 26 degrees off to our north in Glens Falls, 23 in Binghamton, and Syracuse is checking in with 27. Satellite picture in the northeast shows just a few clouds off to our west and north. Those are going to be pushing through the area over the next 6 hours or so, and as I mentioned, some increasing clouds later on this evening. That's associated with an upper level disturbance. Might bring a few scattered snow showers or flurries to the north country, but not too much to worry about so far as accumulation is concerned. Right now, temperatures in the northeast are chilliest right here in New York. 19 degrees in Watertown right now, 35 in Philadelphia, and off to our south you can see temperatures a bit warmer in the 40s. Take a look at the satellite and radar combined here in the East Coast, and you can see that storm, that big swirl in the clouds up here off to our north and east. That's what gave us all the wind over the past few days, and that is pushing out, so that's good news. And take a look down here into Tennessee and South Carolina as well. You can see some thunderstorms firing up. Those are associated with a pretty big surface storm that actually was in Texas a few days ago and created quite a bit in the way of hail. But luckily that will be pushing straight off to the east without affecting our weather too much. Just a lot of sunshine over the next few days. For this morning, we'll see temperatures in the 20s, mostly sunny. It will be a bit chilly though, but again, the winds will be lighter, 10 to 15 miles an hour. For this afternoon, 44 degrees is the expected high with a mixture of clouds and sun right here in the capital region with more clouds off to the north. And again, we can't rule out a shot at flurries or snow showers either. West-northwest wind, 10 to 20 miles an hour. Increasing clouds later on tonight with, again, just a shot of the flurries for most of the north country. 24 to 29, a bit warmer where you have more in the way of clouds, and a northwest wind 5 to 10 miles an hour. Here's your 6-day forecast. Take a look as we get through the middle portion of the week. We'll see a warm-up in store for us. Temperatures right around 50 degrees for Monday, 53 on Tuesday, and it could be near 60 again come Wednesday with a shot of some rain showers in here on Thursday. Weather phone, if you want more information, I should say, is 476-WRGB, or check out our forecast 24 hours a day online at WRGB.com.
I guess a little bit of sun every day is what's really making the difference in the warm-up as it gets stronger, huh?
Absolutely, and we should see a lot of sun this week as well.
All right, thank you, Mike. Well, a movie fan has some questions about his favorite films, especially when he watches them on television. Dennis Embry asks, how can you time expand a movie to, let's say, fill a 2-hour period? And if a movie is edited for content, is that considered time compressed, or is that another term? Ed O'Brien has the answers in another What's With That?
Whoa, that's a lot of territory to cover in one segment, but the boys in engineering are willing to give it a shot.
That's true. Horizontally compressed anamorphic cinemascope or non-anamorphic widescreen is 1.85 to 1.
You remember Fred and Dan from their past What's With That appearances.
Don't show this on
here. See, that's an example of editing for content, when things that aren't normally seen or heard on TV are taken out. Now the technical stuff. CBS will often say a movie has been formatted to fit your television.
Movies are wider screen compared to television, which is, like I said earlier, 4:3. I don't know exactly the ratio for the widescreen movies, but they're more or less wider.
So they play with the size to fit the screen, and normally you won't even notice. But what about expanding and compressing time, Dan?
Let's say you have a program that is so many minutes long, you can play it a little bit faster or a little bit slower, and nobody will know it at home, but actually you can make that program shorter or longer than what it really is.
It's a pretty cool process, in fact. A far cry from the old days when this guy was hosting the old Big Money movie. Back then, they'd chop out whole chunks of films. Try picturing Evita without the music.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Which reminds me, one of these days I have to find out whatever happened to the guy hosting the Big Money movie. Ed O'Brien, Channel 6 News.
This weekend's here, and it's time to relax, unwind, have a little fun, and maybe you got a little spring fever. No problem. Rachel Ray is here. She's scouring the capital region for places where you can get in a little R&R. Today she takes us to an indoor driving range.
You know, outside the snowbanks are still waist high, but here at the Golden Bear Golf Dome, it's summer year-round.
I was looking to do something that would be family-oriented.
Meet Gary Hurst, owner of the Golf Dome. You've seen the place. It's that big white bubble alongside Route 7 in Latham. Gary's a former insurance executive turned entertainment entrepreneur, and his mission is to get the first-time golfers to feel as welcome here as the old pros do.
We encourage people who are taking up the game or just learning to come in, and this is what the facility's here for.
The Golden Bear is for the whole family, and seniors can enjoy great discounts Monday through Friday, 9 to 4.
Everybody's doing something that's enjoyable, something that's athletic.
And what about ladies?
Ladies, we run specials for them. Tuesdays and Thursdays to get free instruction. You'd be surprised the number of women that really are taking up the game of golf now, far more than ever before.
Ladies like Holly Marinucci. She taught herself that swing.
It's a hard game to learn, especially on your own, but
is it worth it if you stick with it?
Oh yeah, it's a lifetime sport, play it all year, so we get old and play it, so why not give it a try?
When you leave the dome, refreshment and good food are only 5 steps away. Recently rated 4 stars in the Metroland, Theo's at the Dome has great food, cold drinks, and a really relaxed atmosphere.
This is more the place that the people can enjoy, relax, have fun, and have nice food.
And what about the menu? Is it gourmet or everyday? Theo's has burgers, pizzas, sandwiches. Chef Kathy Rafael and her staff put together everything from special recipe wings to seafood and pasta fra diavolo. Look at that. Check out these guys. They're having baked brie with raspberry sauce as a prelude to their deluxe burgers. Whether you eat in or take out, and with menu prices from just $2.95 to $7.95, you can afford to come to Theo's often. In Latham, I'm Rachel Ray, Channel 6 News.
And we'll be back with today's top news stories when Channel 6 First News Saturday continues.
And now, another winner from the Black History Month Creative Expressions Contest.
Granville T. Woods was an inventor who loved railroads. He obtained over 50 patents. His best invention was a railway telegraph system. It allowed workers on moving trains to communicate with each other and with railroad stations. It helped prevent train collisions, which made rail traffic safer.
New York's children deserve a healthy start in life. That's why I signed a new law, Child Health Plus, with comprehensive benefits for kids up to age 18.
You get full hospital coverage, immunizations, prescriptions, x-rays, dental care, eye care, and annual checkups. To enroll, call 1-800-698-4KIDS.
Our children are now getting the best health care we can give them, Child Health Plus, because New York loves kids.
Be my love, for no one else can end this yearning, this need that you and you alone. Beautiful. Just fill my arms the way you filled my dreams, the dreams that you
the insights and the memories.
We're our source, you know, and trust.
Part of your life at work or play, you can always turn to us. We're here to help you grow. We're your source.
We're here to let you know.
We're letting you know. We're your source. We're your time's union.
Objective observers
agree.
Mr. McCain has a rock-solid conservative voting record.
On national defense and foreign affairs,
McCain is far more knowledgeable.
his call to use most of the budget surplus to lower the national debt
Instead of dissipating it on big tax cuts,
shows fiscal prudence,
McCain's plan to devote resources to the Social Security system
is solid and responsible.
after 2 terms of Clinton.
John McCain is best equipped to restore dignity to the White House.
New York,
It's up to you.
116 million cut from SUNY teaching hospitals. 2.5 million cut from SUNY's program for economically disadvantaged students. 2.23 million cut in new full-time SUNY faculty. Almost 100,000 cut from child care services for SUNY students and staff. They're talking about cutting $121 million from SUNY. We're talking about how much those cuts will hurt us all. An urgent message from United University Professions.
You're watching Doug Lisette and Weather with Mike Augustyniak. This is Channel 6 First News Saturday.
Welcome back to First News Saturday. It's 7:30. Here's what's coming up now in our second half hour. A local school okays a lockdown to put an end to a series of threats. Judy Sanders looks ahead to next Tuesday's presidential primary. And it came from the 70s. TV's Schoolhouse Rock is live on stage, and we'll be taking a look at the show here in the studio. Now let's check our forecast. Here's Mike Augustyniak.
Thank you, Doug. Good morning to you, and good morning to you at home as well. Let's take a look at the satellite picture. We have a pretty nice day on tap. You can see some clouds off to our west, but those are just of the middle and high cloud variety, and they are tending to break up here in the capital region as they push eastward. There will be more in the way of cloudiness off to our north today, though. And here's a look at temperatures right now. Albany is reporting 27, 26 in Glens Falls, and off to our south a little cooler, 23 in Poughkeepsie. This morning, temperatures in the 20s for the most part. It will be mostly sunny, and later on today we'll be going up to a high of about 44 degrees with temperatures in the 40s by about dinner time tonight. More details coming up.
Thank you, Mike. The city of Albany and 9 of its police officers are facing a federal civil rights lawsuit. It stems from last November's search for accused cop shooter Tracy Grady. 4 men claim they were unjustly roughed up by policemen outside of Fat D's Market the day after that shooting in Arbor Hill. The lawyer for the men tells us that they filed the lawsuit in federal court because there's a larger jury pool than if the case goes to trial. Albany police had no comment. Meanwhile, Colony police have arrested 3 New York City men for passing around counterfeit money. They say fake $100 bills were used at 3 different stores in Latham Farms last night. Police say an employee at one of the businesses became suspicious when a man bought an item costing less than $10 but used a $100 bill to pay for it. Officers also found 9 more fake $100 bills and $4,000 in real money in the men's cars. The Secret Service is now investigating. In Berkshire County, police have arrested a man accused of shooting 3 people in Tennessee. 21-year-old Michael Harper was picked up at an apartment house on Linden Street in Pittsfield yesterday after a brief stakeout. Police in Johnson City, Tennessee say that Harper shot 2 people at a nightclub there and another person at a school dance. He's being held on $1 million bail and could face attempted murder charges. A 16-year-old girl is behind bars after police say she wrote a bomb threat in the girls' bathroom at the Hoosick Falls Middle School. Elizabeth Moody is accused of scrawling the message on the wall February 17th. The district says there was also a threat made against the school on February 23rd and again on this Friday and this past Thursday. And no explosives were found after any of these threats. The superintendent of schools says that she is tightening up security. 2 Catholic schools in Schenectady will be consolidated into one. That's the word from the Albany Catholic Diocese. Officials say there just isn't enough students at both schools, so that they will combine the diocese will, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, and the Immaculate Conception schools. The plan goes into effect this September, with Mount Carmel students attending Immaculate Conception. We're told the decision to consolidate the Schenectady schools took about 18 months to make. Albany has always been a must-stop for candidates, but they can't be everywhere. And this time, they're skipping the capital city. But that doesn't mean their presence won't be felt. Their surrogates, like Ernestine Bradley, are subbing for the presidential candidates. Judy Sanders has more.
There are 11 primaries next Tuesday, and New York is the second biggest prize with 294 delegates. You can see Gore, Bradley, McCain, and Bush in TV ads here.
I fight for what I believe in, and I get results.
But the closest George W. Bush got to the capital region was Cooperstown last July. He's campaigning with Governor Pataki today in Erie, Onondaga, and Suffolk counties, but not in Albany.
And I love New York.
His Republican rival, Senator John McCain, hasn't been anywhere near here. His local coordinators say they're upset about that, but can't explain it. And some of Bill Bradley's supporters are crying foul because he never showed up either. He sent his wife Ernestine instead twice. The only candidate who has shown up is Vice President Al Gore. He was in Amsterdam last September and in Albany just 2 weeks ago with Hillary Clinton. So why pass us by now?
Well, I'm going to be in New York State 4 out of the last 5 days, and I'll be back in Albany a week from now.
But he did send Health and Human Services Secretary Donna Shalala to Albany to meet with senior citizens. She had a warning for the no-shows.
Well, at their peril.
Polls show Gore has the strongest support with nearly 60% of the Democratic vote over Bradley. But Bush, for the first time, has pulled ahead of McCain with 44 to 41% of Republicans, a statistical dead heat. Judy Sanders, Channel 6 News.
So you want to be a millionaire? Well, you might just want to head over to Connecticut today. That's the nearest state where you can buy a ticket for tonight's $150 million Powerball jackpot. The last time the jackpot got up this high, stores along the Connecticut-New York border were swamped with ticket buyers. Saturday's jackpot is the 5th largest in history. So people will be finding their way to Connecticut, I guess, to pick up a ticket. And probably, I'm sure, tonight on 11 o'clock news, we'll try to find out those Powerball numbers and pass them along to you.
I think I'll head over there myself, actually. I could use that amount of money.
Help us out, wouldn't it?
Yeah, certainly would.
Well, sunshine to start, at least, huh?
It is to start. It is starting the day that way, and it will be increase in clouds as we go throughout the day. But good news is we have a warm-up in store. Let's take a look at Skycam right now. It's pretty nice out there to start the day. Just a few high clouds through the area, and those will be, as I mentioned, increasing. But it's not going to be a cloudy day by any means. It should be fairly nice for much of the day. Mostly sunny by noontime. Temperatures right around 40 degrees. 6 o'clock tonight, increase of clouds, as I mentioned, but temperatures still rather warm for this time of year, right around 40. So if you're headed out of the MAC tournament later on tonight, shouldn't be too bad. 27 degrees right now out there. 14 is the dew point, puts our humidity at 51%. Winds from the west-northwest at 6 miles an hour, and the barometer is rising. Latest temperatures across New York and western New England as well. 27, as I mentioned, here in Albany. Off to our east, Pittsfield reporting 24. 26 in North Adams, and Rutland checking in with 27 this morning. Satellite and radar shot combined for the East Coast. You can see a big swirl in the clouds off to our north and east in the Maritimes of Canada. That's actually the storm system that brought us all the wind that we saw over the past few days. Good news is that's shoving out to sea, and it is, again, helping the winds calm off a bit. Off to our south, though, take a look. We do have some pretty nasty weather firing up into South Carolina. This is a pretty potent surface level storm. That's luckily going to be pushing off to the east, so we don't have to worry about any heavy rain or storms here, but it is bringing some pretty hefty amounts of rainfall for the folks in the southeast. Temperatures across the country right now, you can see for the most part right in the 30s, but again, the juiciest air with the highest dew points is right here in the southeast, so that is bad news for those folks so far as heavy rain is concerned. Here, not too bad of a day, though. 20s for this morning with a mostly sunny sky. It will be chilly out there, but winds are a bit lighter than they were yesterday, 10 to 15 miles an hour from the northwest. 44 for today for a high with a mixture of clouds and sun here in the capital region. More clouds off to the north, though. Winds west to northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour. For tonight, 24 to 29, I should say, under mostly cloudy skies with a chance of a flurry off to the north. And here's your 6-day forecast. We'll show you a warm-up as we head throughout the weekend into the first half of next week. Should be around 50 here come Monday. We could actually get close to 60 degrees on Wednesday under mostly sunny skies, and another shot at some showers in here by Thursday with temperatures in the 50s.
Nothing to complain about there.
Not at all. For March, this is great weather.
That is. Thank you very much, Mike. Sure. Coming up when Channel 6 First News Saturday continues, it's been labeled racist and anti-Catholic, and now that Southern Christian University that got George W. Bush in hot water is fighting back. And a television news crew in Miami becomes part of the story after a horrific helicopter accident.
And now, another winner from the Black History Month Creative Expressions Contest.
Coretta Scott King was the wife of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As her husband became famous, her family safety became a concern to her, but she stuck by her husband in the civil rights movement. Mrs. King shows that true love and beliefs cost something. I'm named after her, and I want to speak and teach the truth about what needs to be changed in our lives and in our community.
CBS Sunday, when you've lost all faith, when you've given up hope, one show will remind you you're not alone.
You are the one.
Touched by an Angel. Then, when Hollywood's most spoiled actress gets lost in a small town, she'll find something she never expected. A life.
Stick around anyway.
Now, why would I want to do that?
But is she willing to give up Tinseltown for a chance at love?
Oh, that's insane.
Celia Ward and Jane Curtin.
I want you.
In a world premiere, catch a falling star after Angel, CBS Sunday.
Last year, John McCain voted against solar and renewable energy. That means more use of coal-burning plants that pollute our air. New York Republicans care about clean air. So does Governor Bush. He led one of the first states in America to clamp down on old coal-burning electric power plants. Bush clean air laws will reduce air pollution more than 250,000 tons a year. That's like taking 5 million cars off the road. Governor Bush, leading, so each day dawns brighter.
In this week's Inquirer, did TV legend Bill Cosby sexually abuse a pretty young co-star? The Inquirer has the inside story. And find out why sexy Shania Twain has joined a religious cult that forbids sex, and why her husband isn't at all upset. Also, millionaire bride Darva Conger told viewers she was a good girl, but the Inquirer has the real goods on her shocking lifestyle. Plus, Will and Grace, Whitney, Britney, and much more. Get it first, get it right. Pick up this week's issue of the National Enquirer.
Schuco manufactured windows have earned the Good Housekeeping seal, and it's no wonder. Schuco windows are the result of German engineering and craftsmanship made in America. Exclusive features like our TPS system and unique inline slider are all part of the finest line of vinyl replacement windows available. Call now and you can purchase Schuco manufactured windows at factory direct prices. Save up to 25% and you'll make no payment until summer. Remember, Schuco windows with the Good Housekeeping seal. Call now.
You know, some might call you a calculating woman.
And they would be right. I'm just adding up how much we'll save on that bedroom at Raymore and Flanigan.
We afford it now? I mean, with everything else?
You mean like a new car?
Yeah.
Hey, with the extra discounts Raymore and Flanigan's giving, now would be a really good time.
I can see that.
And we get financing until 2001, interest-free.
Enjoy extra discounts now through Monday at Raymore and Flanigan with no deposit, interest, or payments until 2001.
How about a new four-wheel drive?
After we're done in here, then you can decorate the driveway.
Bob Jones University is fighting back. The South Carolina College is using a full-page newspaper ad in the USA Today to answer national criticism of its interracial dating ban and other issues. The move came after Republican presidential candidate George W. Bush was criticized for making a stop at the fundamentalist Christian school last month. University President Bob Jones III says the school has been wrongly painted as racist and anti-Catholic. Police in New York City are still looking for the person who went on a killing spree in the Bronx yesterday. 5 people were killed at 3 different locations. A woman was found shot and stabbed in an apartment building elevator. A second woman found slashed to death a few blocks away. A little later, 2 men shot to death, and then a teenage boy stabbed to death in an apartment. All the murders happened early yesterday morning, and police say they all appear to be related. Man was buried alive waist deep in bricks and rubble when a building collapsed around him in Houston. The firefighters rescued him and nobody else was hurt there. The man was part of a salvage crew working on the abandoned building. When it fell in on him, it's one of the many structures being torn down to make way for the Houston Astros baseball stadium. A television news helicopter crashed and burned in suburban Miami yesterday, killing the pilot and the cameraman aboard. Alita Hightation has the story.
For the staff of a local television station, it can be one of the hardest stories to cover. A news helicopter crashes and burns in a Miami suburb Friday, killing both people on board.
Saw something that didn't look right, but I walked in anyway. I didn't think much of it. And then suddenly we heard a loud bang. I heard a thump on the ground, and he ran in screaming because he thought something might actually have come close to our home, but it didn't.
The helicopter used by NBC station WTVJ was being used to cover a bus accident. Early reports say the chopper was 50 feet from another aircraft when the pilot attempted to make a high bank turn. That's when the rear tail appeared to break off. But other witnesses say the helicopter simply fell out of the sky.
Saw the smoke and I knew immediately what happened.
And the smoke was coming out of the tail, where the tail rotor.
It seemed to be coming out of where the tail was.
The chopper crashed in a small traffic circle in a residential neighborhood, killing both the pilot and a photographer for WTVJ. No one on the ground was hurt. Meanwhile, investigators aren't sure what caused the accident of a news helicopter, seen more and more in the skies of the nation's biggest cities. Alita Haytain for CBS News, Miami.
When Channel 6 First News Saturday continues, we'll get a sneak preview of tonight's performance of Schoolhouse Rock at Proctor's Theater. Plus, we'll have our 6 picks, some of the things happening around our area this weekend. And we welcome back Andy Nicole as he reviews Madonna's latest movie. Will it be a flop, or is it the next best thing?
The ring was a gift, which means she owns the ring. The proceeds of that belong to her.
Monday afternoon at 4, only on Channel 6.
Thousands across the capital region died in 1 month. The health department closed the schools, the churches, and the theaters. But many of us have never heard of the Spanish flu.
Everybody was dying right and left. People had the flu, and in 4 days they could be dead.
Join us for a special half-hour presentation, Killer Flu, Sunday morning at 8:30.
John McCain, the character to do what's right.
I'm going to give the government back to you, and I promise you that.
The courage to fight for it. A Republican like Ronald Reagan who can win.
I'm going to beat Al Gore like a drum. You will always hear the truth from me, no matter what.
New York, on Tuesday, vote for the one Republican who can beat Al Gore. John McCain.
Substandard parts and unsafe repair practices can compromise your safety and diminish the value of your vehicle. Repair your vehicle right the first time. Choose H&V Auto Care and Collision Center.
H&V, H&V. Kilago, alone on Kilago. How empty it seems with only my dreams.
Introducing the 3.2 CL from Acura.
Right now at Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries, you can get 2 great chairs for one low price, which means they'll be moving twice as fast. We suggest you do the same.
At the Latham Lazy Boy Furniture Gallery, buy any sofa, chair, or sleeper and we'll give you 6 fabulous vacations during our fantastic vacation giveaway. Come in for complete details.
Well, let's take a look at what's happening around here this weekend now.
Here's a half dozen events in this morning, 6 picks.
Old toys, you probably know, are hot items. And today, collectors will buy, sell, and trade planes, trains, and automobiles from our childhood. Toys of all kinds really can be found at the Polish Community Center on Washington Avenue in Albany today from 9 to 2.
And we've got more old things to tell you about. The Antiques and Schoharie shows this weekend. Items will be available to buy, and appraisers will be on hand to gauge the value of your own antiques. The show is today from 10 until 5 and Sunday from 11 till 4.
If you're interested in old homes and fancy gardens, drop by the Preservation Expo this weekend. Seminars on home restoration and a full-size Victorian garden will be set up inside the Saratoga Springs City Center on Broadway. That is today from 10 till 6 and tomorrow from 11 till 5.
And this is Mardi Gras weekend, but you don't have to go to New Orleans to have fun. Brody Mountain in Berkshire County is having its own Mardi Gras party today, and you don't even have to ski. Most of the events, in fact, are geared towards families. It runs from 9 until 5.
If you spent Saturday morning in front of the TV set in the 1970s, you should remember Schoolhouse Rock. The animated short stories educated kids, and now they are back in a live performance at Proctor's Theater tonight at 7:30. We're going to have a preview of this show in just a few minutes.
And there is no excuse not to go golfing just because it's winter. The 10th annual Chili Open is tomorrow at Holland Meadows in Broad Alban. Tee time is high noon. Bring your clubs, a hockey stick, and a croquet mallet for putting.
I guess you're not going to need the orange golf balls because probably the snow is mostly gone.
No snow. We might actually be playing real golf later this week, actually. It could be near 60.
They're going to try. I know the golf fans will.
Golfers are diehards.
Yeah, they are. Well, as we welcome back Dandy Nicola, we also are glad to have his movie reviews again on First News Saturday. This one's about a woman who's straight. Her companion is gay, and somehow they found themselves in a family way. Dan reviews Madonna's new movie, The Next Best Thing.
Madonna is a yoga instructor. Her best friend, played by Rupert Everett, is gay. One night, on a lark, they make love. Only once, hey, she's pregnant.
But I've made up my mind and I'm having this baby.
That's the setup for The Next Best Thing, a movie squarely in the tradition of 30 screwball comedies. Look at Madonna trying to be Irene Dunn or Ginger Rogers. Now, the first half of the movie is delightful, thanks to Everett, who props up everything and everyone, including Madonna. Something interesting going on here, a reminder for us that some women are more comfortable hanging with gay men.
What's the best thing I could tell you?
That you've met a fabulous guy for me.
Then, for some odd reason, the movie runs into a roadblock. Instead of featuring a straight woman and gay man bringing up a kid, the movie cuts 6 years ahead. Enter a straight boyfriend played by former Law & Order star Benjamin Bratt. There's a custody suit, a lot of melodramatic posturing, and The Next Best Thing begins to unravel. It's as if the makers of this movie did not have confidence in the fact that they had something good going on here. Ah well, a hit and miss rolled into one. One definite miss, Madonna trying to sing Bye Bye American Pie. Anemic and pathetic. The Next Best Thing gets a B-. I'm Dan DiDicola.
And at 7:50, we will take a look at last night's winning lottery numbers in New York. The daily number drawn was 155 and the win for number 3338. Take 5 number 2, 5, 8, 13, and 33. In Massachusetts, the daily number 9392 and the mass cash number 7, 18, 30, 34, and 35. In Northern New England, the pick 3 number 405 and the pick 4 number drawn last night in that Northern New England game was 4, 9, 5, 8. Maybe out there some winners. Let us know if you are. Well, we are talking this morning with Mary D'Amico. She is the director of the play Schoolhouse Rock Live, which will be performed by the RPI Young Actors Guild this evening in Proctor's. We're in Schenectady. We're not too many hours away from this show. And let's first quickly talk about the Young Actors Guild is, if you would, Mary.
It's a theater program for children ages 7 through 21. We teach music, acting, and dance, and we rehearse throughout the year for a number of productions that we perform with kids.
And where do you draw upon to get your young actors?
It happens a lot through word of mouth, but in the local area, we just advertise in the papers, and kids come who want to learn to be actors. And
now, you're putting together a show tonight, which was on when none of these kids
were well,
alive,
actually,
right?
It's on now.
It's on
Saturday
now.
morning cartoons. So
first time around, though.
Yeah, it was when we were
all kids.
I know, when I was a teenager, it was on. And a lot of it's familiar to audiences of my age, so it's been fun.
The whole idea of it was these little short animated clips between cartoons, right? Saturday morning, and they taught us how a bill becomes a law, and what conjunction, junction, and I'm trying to think of a few other ones.
All those numbers are in it. What else is in it? Interplanet Janet, which is one of the kids' favorite. And it's got the same energy. When we went into it, I was kind of like, oh, Schoolhouse Rock, because it's like from when we were kids. And when they started doing it, I was like, wow, this is really fun. And I got into it, It's really a good show.
Well, let's refresh our memories. The RPI Young Actors Guild is going to give us a taste right now of Schoolhouse Rock Live. Take it away.
Junction, junction, what's your function? Hooking up words and phrases and clauses.
Junction, junction, how's that function?
Tying up words and phrases and clauses.
Junction, junction, watch that function.
I'm gonna get you there if you're very careful.
Junction, junction, what's your function?
I'm gonna get you there.
The humongous savings store, Huck Finn's Warehouse and more.
At Huck Finn's Humongous Warehouse, you'll see more quality rugs and carpet remnants than anywhere. Area rugs in every pattern and size imaginable. Thousands to choose from. Hand hooked and hand knotted at a fraction of what you'd expect to pay. New shipments arrive every week. That's more than anywhere.
The humongous savings store, more than anywhere. Huck Finn's Warehouse and more.
Schuco manufactured windows have earned the Good Housekeeping seal, and it's no wonder. Schuco windows are the result of German engineering and craftsmanship made in America. Exclusive features like our TPS system and unique inline slider are all part of the finest line of vinyl replacement windows available. Call now and you can purchase Schuco manufactured windows at factory direct prices. Save up to 25% and you'll make no payment until summer. Remember, Schuco windows with the Good Housekeeping seal. Call now.
How can I get my creamy cottage cheese to taste fresh every time I open it?
Sam Breakstone, get out of the tub!
That's it!
Breakstone's cottage cheese is out of the tub and available in snack size 4-packs for a fresh taste every time.
Governor George W. Bush. He's a once-in-a-generation leader with a bold agenda, a successful governor with a fresh leadership style. So every child reads, he'll fight for education reforms hailed as the most sweeping in a decade. While Washington deadlocked, he delivered a Patient's Bill of Rights that's a model for America. He's the candidate with a tax cut called Reagan-esque and worthy of a new president. Seeking the best solutions, doing what's right.
I fight for what I believe in, and I get results.
There is a difference in cleaners. At Executive Cleaners, you are met by friendly, knowledgeable people who know how to care for your clothing using state-of-the-art, environmentally friendly equipment. Our specialists skillfully remove stains without damage to your garment. Our executive laundered shirts are the sharpest in town, and our experienced finishers can restore your clothing like new. Nothing leaves our facility without a complete final inspection, and minor repairs are always free. There's a difference in cleaners. Executive Cleaners, Stuyvesant Plaza, Albany. Open every day for your convenience.
Well, last time you were here, we were getting our memories refreshed about Schoolhouse Rock, and before we let the RPI Young Actors Guild go, we wanted Mary D'Amico to tell us about tonight's show quick, the cost and the time.
Okay, it's at 7:30 at Proctor's. It's $10 general admission, and we hope everybody can get out and see it because it's really, the kids love it.
And one other quick thing is, what kind of age group are you expecting? Because we remember it, but it was designed for kids. You know, who's this geared toward?
We did it at Coho's Music Hall last month, and a lot of people came to see it. There were a lot of children there, little kids, and it totally captured their attention. So I would say any age, you know, from probably 2.5 up. Older people love it because it's familiar, and it, like a lot of people said to me, Schoolhouse Rock Live, and then I'd be like, conjunction, and they go, just a bill, and I'd be like, yeah. So I think it's like great for all ages. It's just fun.
Adults remember it, still works for kids.
Yeah.
Good luck with the show tonight. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Finally this morning, thousands of people line the streets of Tokyo, hoping to be among the first to get their hands on Sony PlayStation 2. The much anticipated game console went on sale for the first time today there. One shop in central Tokyo counted more than 5,000 people waiting outside. Sony says the internet homepage for advance orders of the game was jammed with as many as 500,000 hits a minute. The Sony PlayStation 2 is due to go on sale in the U.S. this fall. I don't know much about PlayStation, but I know that is huge for Sony.
It is.
They make something like 20% of their money now off of PlayStation.
Wow, that's amazing. It is fun. I do have PlayStation 1.
Do you?
I can tell you that much, yeah. It's a good time. Good weather, too, as a matter of fact. Let's go to graphics. We'll show you today mostly sunny with a high around 44. There will be some more clouds off to the north, though, so if you're headed up there, watch out for a scattered flurry or two. For tonight, down to 26 for low with some increasing clouds all across the capital region. And for tomorrow, a mixture of sun and clouds with a high temperature right around 42. Actually, for the upcoming week, we might even hit 60 come Wednesday, so it's going to be pretty nice weather.
All right, that's good news. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for joining us this morning, and we hope to see you again soon. Back with more news and weather for you about 25 minutes.
Only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know